Hi Flosstube! Welcome to this video. My name is Anna and I'm here to talk about cross stitch. Today is Sunday, August 30th, and I'm recording from my new office in our new house. We are officially moved into our new house and it feels great not to be living month to month in a rental without really knowing where we're going to be or for how long. I did not realize how much stress that was causing me until we actually moved in and started opening boxes and getting settled, and just the relief of knowing that we're not going to have to move again for a while it feels nice. I feel relieved is the word I'll go with. We've moved 5 times in the last 6 years. I know a lot of military families are familiar with that process. We're happy to be here for a while now. So I'm sure I'll talk more about my house, our new house, as the months go by, but for now I just wanted to recognize that I'm in my new space. Empty cat tree behind me. We're still working on the decor in the house. We have been here for about 3 weeks. We've unpacked everything that we need to sleep and eat and work, because we're both working from home still. And we have separate offices in this house, at least for the duration of the pandemic. We'll see what happens long term. We might need to use the rooms for other things. But for now, we're all set up. And at this point, we're just starting to tackle some of the projects that have been sort of let go when the previous owners lived here. They were here for about 10 years and they did make some great improvements, but there's just a few things that we'd like to take care of early. So we've been doing some of that, and we're still unpacking closets and that sort of thing. So anyway, that is why it has been 2 months since my last update, and I really don't want it to be 2 months again, because gathering all of the stuff and remembering what I worked on for cross stitch, it was a bit of a challenge, but I think I have everything here, and that's really all we've been doing, is just working and moving. So I have a little bit of cross stitch to show you, and let's just get started. And then towards the end of the video, I will announce the winner of the giveaway. So stay tuned for that. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So you guys will remember that for Mania, I decided to do a mini Mania version, and I started 20 of the Prairie Year and Prairie Year 2 Prairie Schooler months, and I finished July in July. So there it is. I really debated whether to stitch the white, but I went ahead and did it just because it made it a little more fuller. There were some like little white dots in here and here that I skipped those, but all the stripes and the stars and then some details in these flowers are all stitched. So this is on 14 count white Aida, and this is July done. I did not start on the second one for July, which is the Liberty Bell. That one has not seen any more progress than I gave it during Mania. So there's that. Happy to be done with that one. So then the rest of July, I decided to stitch on Christmas projects. I did not start a bunch of Christmas projects. I just did a Christmas theme. And I intended to do a patriotic theme, but I was not ready to start Salute to Abigail. I now have fabric and I have some of the flosses. Maybe I'll show you next time. There's a couple of the colors that I'd like to change, and I'd like to go to my local LNS, my local needlework shop, my LNS, to pick them out myself. So it's kind of on the back burner right now, but I do have fabric for it, so I'm excited about that. Okay, so I also worked on, in July, I worked on Lavender and Lace Spirit of Christmas. Sorry, my needle minders are sticking to each other here. So hopefully I've shown you what it looked like before. And here it is now. So for this one, I had stitched, one of the colors it calls for is white, and this is one of the first projects that I kitted up myself. And so when my big box craft store didn't have white, I grabbed B5200, And I used some of that in the beard early on when I started this project, and it looked fine then. But once I got the other creams and grays and things in, it was just really, really bright. So I ripped out all of the white stitches I had over here, and I restitched them in white, which is less stark than B5200. So yeah, that's where I am. I worked a lot on the beard, and I worked on this wreath. The main reason I worked in this section is because there's a page break, like, let's see, like right in here. So I just wanted to bridge that gap so I'd have things to count on both sides, and I wouldn't have to be flipping back and forth forever. You know, sometimes when I run into a page break, I just take it on and try to never have to worry about it again. So I love this one. The colors are so rich, and the blends really make a difference. I'm really excited to be making progress on all the ribbon over here in the wreath. And then I also started these candlesticks, and they've got like a little flame up here that I haven't put in yet. Yeah, I'm really happy about this. I'm really excited to get it out again. I don't know when. It might be December before I'm back onto Christmas, but we'll see. Can always pull it out, an odd moment here and there. So yeah, that was Spirit of Christmas. Next, I have Winter Cardinals, which is a Dimensions kit. Someone commented that they really like this one. I think it's still available. I think I got mine off of Amazon. I'm not sure if they have it there, but yeah. Let's see. So hopefully I showed you where it was last time. And here it is now. So, it's going to be hard to point things out on this one. So I was working over here in the greenery, and I was working just to finish the pages and go under the cardinal. But then I took this with me on a car trip. It was a camping trip. And so I just took a couple colors. I took the dark brown, the darkest green, and then the main branch color green. And I just started working all the way across. Again, there's a page break there, so I was happy to work across that and not to deal with it again. And now you can kind of start to see the shape of the whole branch. So, yeah, this is on 16 count Dove Gray Ada that came with the kit. All the kit flosses. I'm adding one strand of blending filament, oopsies, to the snow. But other than that, it's going great. Really happy to pull this one out too. It's good for the car and for things like camping because it's Ada and it's 16 count. It's not 18 count or smaller. So, yeah, it's coming along great. I'm glad I stretched out across the two pages because it gives me a bit of an idea of scale, and I think that this side, the page I've done, has a lot denser branches than the other side. So it just kind of shows me where my progress is. And yeah, I'm excited to work on this one too. I love all my projects. And I'm really happy that when I do pull them out, I still like them a lot. And I still enjoy working on them. I like that they're different and different colors. So that one lives in my sunflower bag. That's over here. Okay, I also worked on I guess I didn't tell you what fabric the Santa is on. The Spirit of Christmas is on Witchell 32 count. I don't know what color. That's all I have. So then I also worked on Blackberg Square by Peppermint Purple. It's a shop on Etsy. And the square on the shop is just charted in one color. Now this one's still on the hoop, so sorry about that, guys. You'll see my sophisticated system here. So I'm doing this on 14 count Ada in forest green, and I'm converting it into Christmas colors, and I'm kind of just choosing them as I go. But you can see this is how far I am on it. There's quite a bit to go. One thing that I changed is that this row of flowers here in the chart is like, they've got like these curved petals, and then there's more of this green lattice work behind it. and I recharted those to have like pointy leaves, pointy petals, so they look more like poinsettias. And I was really happy. I started in this corner with this one. I was really happy that they fit all the way across to here without any major issues. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I think I worked some on these too, and I extended this very subtle on camera, but really pretty in person, this border of this inner box there. So I was happy to get this one out. It's been a while. It's just something different. I'll probably, now that we have more permanent storage, I'll probably keep this in a more accessible place because it's the only blackwork project I'm doing, and it is very different. So it doesn't have to, I don't even have to be in the mood for Christmas for this to be interesting for me to stitch on. So we'll see. We're still figuring out permanent storage for everything, and I think everything's going to be temporary for a while, but we'll see. So yeah, there's that one. And then I went ahead and had a new start, but it wasn't actually in July. It's Christmas themed, so I thought I would go ahead and show it to you now. I started it just I think like a week ago, but I had been wanting to start it during July. And it's this buttons and beads Mill Hill kit from the Christmas Village, and this is the Country Church. Here. And I just barely started this one. And I've got a string hanging down still. That's my start on it. Oh. Yeah, so just a little bit on the church, the building itself. There are a lot of beads on this. I'm really looking forward to getting enough done where I can start the beading. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I think it'll be good. So because I started this, I also took an entire evening to sort out the threads and find containers for the beads and all of that stuff. So that did take a day of stitching just to prepare to start. And I forget that when I think about starting something new, that it takes so much preparation to get it ready to start it and all of that. So glad I got it started, and I don't think it's going to be done by this Christmas, but we'll see. I might keep it out too and just work on it a little bit at a time and see how far I get. We'll see. Okay, so then that was the end of July, and we were gearing up to move early August. So when did we move? I can't even remember now. I feel like we're all just in like I've heard it called a time soup, where you're not sure if something happened last week or last month or maybe 6 months ago. It's hard to tell. It really is sometimes. So yeah, we've been here for about 3 weeks. That's all I know. So anyway, August came, and at some point we were in this new house, and so it was hard to find time to stitch when there was just so much chaos all around, boxes and temporary storage and all of that stuff. And then having the pets and trying to get them through the move and learning where the food bowls are, and I'm glad things are starting to normalize a little bit and I can get back to stitching. So anyway, August, I worked on my Prairie Year, and it was watermelon. If you guys remember, I had 2 stitches on it when I showed it to you last time at the end of Mania. I had 2 stitches. I'm still not done, and today's the 30th, so I might get it done tonight or tomorrow, but I'm not gonna stress out trying to do that. So here it is. I think it's so cute. It's so neat. Oh, my eagle reindeer on it. So I started stitching this, and a couple things. Let's see if I can show you. The chart calls for the flowers on the vine to be stitched in 436, which is this golden color. And it just wasn't bright enough for me. It was very hot. I know my zucchini and squash have these bright yellow flowers on them, I just wanted to brighten it up a little bit. So instead of using this one, I used 725, which is in other squares in this series. So I already had it on my rings here, which it's going okay. They're driving me a little crazy with the loose ends, but it's good for portability. So anyway, these are the two colors, and I'm glad I went with the brighter yellow for this. A couple other things. I found out when I got down here that I did not have this light green color, and I didn't have an empty bobbin for it on my threads. So I don't know what happened there, but I have it now. And then something else is this dark green that's on this vine, and it's in a lot of the other squares. I ran out of that. It might be my first skein that I've used all of it. I might have used a whole one on my Fright Night pattern, my Halloween full coverage, but I'm not sure. This might be the first time I've ran out. So I got some more of that, and I finished enough of this so that if there is some slight variation in the dye lots between the two colors, at least it's in like this buried part of the watermelon. So I still have a lot to go. This is pretty dense. This is all red, then you go back with the black for the seeds, and then this is alternates in kind of a random pattern between these two greens. But corner to corner, except for this little flower here, it's done. And then the top is done above the watermelon. So I'm happy with it. I did not work on the one with the beehive for August, but yeah, I'm good with my progress on this. Okay. So then in August, my theme was kind of flowers and birds, and I intended to do insects, but I did not get to my dragonfly. Just kind of sad because it's so pretty and sparkly. And it's coming up on its birthday, so I might have to pull that out soon. Anyway, I also worked on birds and berries. I have this one by the Prairie Schooler, and I was working on this red-winged blackbird, and I finished it. You guys knew I was pretty close to finishing it because I was done with the bird, and I just had I had the bottom branch and a few of these leaves over here to do. And if you guys are familiar with this pattern, you might notice that there's a mistake in here. Those leaves are not supposed to be touching, but I was so close to being finished. I didn't want to rip it out, so I just made both of the leaves a little fatter, and I don't think you can tell. And I think it looks great. So this one I think is on 32 count natural linen. I don't know where it's from. Probably. Let's see. Oh, it's 32 count Belfast in natural linen. So yeah, there is my red-winged blackbird. I'm not going to frame him because I am going to do all four of them, and I like to frame them all together and hang them all together the way that they've done on the front. The difference is I would probably do a white frame and maybe even a white mat to just make it look a little more fresh and light, I guess, is what I'm looking for. So yeah, finish that. I don't know which bird I'm going to do next. So cardinals we do not have here in Colorado. I don't know if you guys knew that, but their territory ends in like Kansas-ish, and so out west we don't have cardinals. I had them growing up, and I've had them every other place that I've lived, but we don't have them here. So I don't know if I'll stitch that one, or I might wait till my winter cardinals is done. So it's kind of between the bluebird, blue jay, and the chickadee. They're both good birds. The blue jay is kind of a bully at the bird feeder, but they're big, impressive birds. And then the chickadee, I don't know. This is a black-capped chickadee, which is what we have in most of the country. But there is something, if we drive 10 minutes into the mountains from our house, we can find Rocky Mountain chickadees, which are very similar, but they have a really cool stripe over their eye and like on their brow in white. So I'm thinking if I do the chickadee, I might try to chart in those markings to make it a Rocky Mountain chickadee. So I don't know. I'm not sure what I'll do next for this, but or when I'll start another one. I don't need to start another bird. I've got so many other projects, but I have the threads, I have the fabric, I finished one. This is a whip right now, so who knows? We'll see. It's all temporary. Okay, and then the last thing that I worked on was my full coverage. It's Mini Birdsong by Heaven and Earth Design, and I'll show you where it was before. And here it is now. So I didn't work a ton on this, just a couple evenings. I am working on this diagonal here. It's an extra wide diagonal. It's 15 wide instead of 10 because I'm trying to make the diagonals fall on a corner of a square, make it nice and tidy instead of what I had been doing. And we're still just in sky. Finish another one of these berries here. Mostly it's a lot of this color. I don't have it here to tell you what color that is. Oh, it's DMC 747, and there's a lot of it. And I also did a couple of lengths, maybe even 3 or 4 over here of that same 747 just to fill it in, because as I've said before, this whole section is pretty much just sky, and it's pretty much just that one color blue. There's a few little confetti stitches here and there, but not much. So, yeah. I really enjoyed this one. It was hard to work on it while we were moving because it's so big. I have to have room on the couch, and I have to have my floss box right there. But now that we're more settled, it's easier to work on, so still enjoying it. I don't think I'm going to finish a diagonal before I switch over to my Halloween one, though, because October is coming up, and I'm definitely going to stitch on Fright Night from Artisy in October. So we'll see what September holds for this one. Probably keep it out to keep working on it. So this is on 18 count Aida. I gridded it with a water-soluble pin, very sloppily. There's spots where I stitched on it with wet hair and it dripped on the grid. It's one of my oldest projects, and you can tell I've learned a lot since then. So that is it for my whips. And then you saw my new start. Let me pause really quick and then I'll set it up for the giveaway. Hold on. Okay, I had to go get the actual fabric so I could remind you guys. So this is the fabric that I decided to give away. This is, 16 count Aida in this purple color. And this is one of the pieces of fabric that I got at a thrift store. It was in a nice plastic package with some other fabric. And 39 of you guys entered to win this, and it drew number 35, and that is Lisa S. Stitches. I watch her channel. Yeah, congratulations, Lisa. I'll have to connect with you to get your address so that I can mail this to you. So, yeah, congratulations. So many of you guys participated in the giveaway. I really appreciate all of your comments. I do want to say, though, I asked you guys to tell me what makes July special for you, or what makes it exciting for you, or whatever, and a number of you commented that you were sad that you didn't get to celebrate July the way you normally would, and I didn't mean to do that at all. I didn't mean to make you guys feel bad about it. I really hope that you're optimistic and looking forward to enjoying next year. And it sounds like many of you did your best to make the most out of our current situation. So I'm just really grateful that you all participated, and I'm sorry if I brought up any bad feelings for you or disappointment. It's not at all what I meant. I wanted to inspire some of the best memories of summer and see what everybody else likes to do with their July. So thank you guys for participating in that. I also want to say, without getting into, every time I try to talk about anything serious on here on this format, I tend to launch into just a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot on my mind. There's a lot out there to talk about. All I will say is that if you live in the United States, this is an election year. Your vote matters. If there is anything in this country that you are unhappy with or you would like to see changed, this is one of your only opportunities to participate in that change. And it's really important that you do if you have those feelings. If you feel that there's something that needs to change, now is your chance to do that. If you're concerned about going to vote in person, visit your county elections office website. You can just go to your web browser and do an internet search for your county elections office. They should also have instructions for how to request a mail-in ballot if you're eligible, if your state is doing that, and how to request an absentee ballot if you're living out of state, especially if you're military. You have the right to vote absentee if you're out of your state because of military service or your spouse's military service. So don't not vote because you don't know how. Please visit your elections office website and see if your state allows mail-in voting. It might be that your state allows that, and I really just encourage you guys to request a ballot if your state does not already send them to you. Colorado automatically sends ballots to every registered voter and has done for a while, so that's wonderful. I hope your state does that or is thinking about doing that. But in the meantime, there are ways for you to figure out whether you can do that. And I just, again, without getting into the substance, just saying if you have an opinion, now is the time to take action on it. So that is all I have to say. Thank you for joining me today for my stitching. Hopefully I'll come back next month and I can talk in more detail about each of my projects, maybe show you how I store them, that sort of thing. So thank you guys. Happy stitching. Bye.